Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Two Men No Hope. With me is Ginger Pubes and Sad Act. James Ginger Pubes, just to let you know.
I'd rather be Sad Act than Ginger Pubes, to be honest.
Well, you should never have a ginger beard then, should you?
I won't be much longer.
Yeah, because you've got to get your old man dye out and fucking dye your fucking beard, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with male grooming.
Male grooming, dyeing it male grooming. Shaving and trimming and things, male grooming, innit?
Yeah.
Dyeing is denial.
Denial of the ginger.
You live in the denial.
I don't think if I went grey I would dye it, but definitely to get rid of this ginger fucking beard, I'll dye it.
I can't wait to go denial. Sorry, mate. I can't wait to go grey. I'm in that sort of borderline at the minute where, like, every now and again I look at the mirror and it's like a shine, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm getting really close. There's like a grey hair in my like eyebrows.
You're glittering like matey boy out of fucking
like,
what's it called?
I look like what?
You're glittering in the sun like matey
Oh,
boy out of
Twilight. I feel like I'm getting more like Doctor Strange. Like I've got like grey down the side here.
That's a pretty cool grey little bit.
Yeah, but I keep my hair short because like like a nutsack. I don't like too much hair.
Yeah.
Do you not trim your nutsack?
I trim my nutsack, but I've never really compared my head to my nutsack.
Yeah, but you have a lot more hair on your head. I don't have
true.
Okay.
True.
I don't like it. I guess my dad always called it a man's haircut when you have like a, what do they call it, jarhead?
Like a buzz cut.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I went for years having buzz cuts, but I'm back where I started.
I'm not Jewish, but I just get a Jew fro. It's like a curse.
Yeah, true.
Everything goes curly. I've got any sort of hair it goes curly.
I remember, if I don't remember rightly, when I saw your driving licence years ago, you had like big curly red hair.
No, it was multicoloured.
Multicoloured.
Yeah, because I used to dye my hair, which I now found out is because of my brain. But like, so I dyed it blonde, bleached it to put colour in it.
Mm.
But then all the colours were like cheap, shitty dyes. So it was like, my driving licence is like, it was like blonde with like blue, green, and a bit of something else in it. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
No, I'm joking. What I'm doing. It's been a long day.
We went into a bit of a delirium, I
think. Trying to think of funny intros to start with.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually down south at the minute because Jamie's wife's birthday is tomorrow, or birthday party is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually flying down here, which is why
we're actually in the same room.
In the same room, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I burnt my neck.
Sitting in the sun.
It feels really warm. You know,
it's either that or you burnt it on the fire.
Yeah, it's got that weird sort of like hot, sticky.
Yeah.
Maybe just be.
I've got the same feeling on my face, but I thought it was because I've been leaning into the fire too much.
Yeah, maybe it is. We'll find out in the morning when we look like dickheads, So, we're on fire at the minute. We have another email from someone that is actually listening, and this one is from the US. Which is always good because I didn't think people in the US could actually understand what we were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing alright. And plus because I mumble a lot as well.
Well, I mumble even more. I always think that people never understand what I'm saying. I always push Charlotte to go to the bar instead of me because I think the bar woman is not going to understand me when I'm trying to articulate my words.
I always panic when I go up to like thing. So like if I go to the McDonald's, like Burger King or anything, I prep before I go up there.
Yeah.
So I like look at the menu and I'm like, oh no, KFC's better. So I go up and I'm like, right, I want a Big Daddy meal. And I go up and I'm like, can I have a Big Daddy meal? And they're like, yeah, do you want large? And I'm like, yeah. Do you want to add 2 chicken wings for 99p? Yeah, that's fine, yeah. What about, we've got a special promotion on give £1 to the charity? Yeah, that's fine, yeah, give £1 to charity. So I can't do it.
30 quid later.
Yeah. Like, I go up knowing what I want, and then when someone asks me a question, I just say yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking panic. I can't handle it. So yeah, we got another listener. This one wants to stay anonymous. 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 And so he says he goes, I have a problem. Before I say his name, I go to the clubs. I go to the clubs with the boys in the evenings on a Friday night and Saturday most weekends. We're all in our mid-20s, and I have the knack of getting too drunk and making a fool of myself, mainly by having conversations I have no memory of, and getting myself into situations where I throw up, and I'm worried eventually I'm going to be that guy. We are really that guy.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever dealt with awkward situations on a night or the day after? And he's also asked how we deal with hangovers.
Well,
I haven't had one in a very long time, to be honest.
What, a hangover?
A hangover, yeah. Even though the last time I came down, we were drinking for fucking hell. From like midday till something like 4 in the next day?
Yeah, over 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, there's a lot of wives' tales and all that shit. I don't think there's a way to cure a hangover. I think, like, you can. The best thing for you to do is to fill your body with water, vitamin C, and that's it. That's all you can do, and eat.
Water's the night before. Like, they say to you before you go to sleep, drink loads of water. But who's going to do that? For me, before I go on a night out, I buy a can of Pepsi and I open it. Because for some reason in the morning, flat Pepsi is like the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I'll go out and I'll buy like a box of ice lollies.
Yeah, ice, like fruity ice lollies are pretty...
Yeah. Or ice pops. What do they call them in the US? I suppose it is ice pops.
I don't know what they call them.
It's like, it's basically like diluted water in it. Like it's water with like a syrup.
Yeah.
That you just freeze.
I don't know what they call it. That's weird, isn't it? I'm assuming they would call them ice lolly.
What's a Juicepop? That's something else, isn't it?
Yeah, Juicepop is the... Do you know the ones that you can put... They normally come non-frozen. You freeze them, you put them in the freezer, and it's like a syrup, and when you push the bottom of it up...
so it's basically like the same thing, isn't it?
Similar thing, yeah.
Like
a hubbly jubbly, or what they call it.
Jubbly. Yeah, ours is just like long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long,
yeah. We just like, the English like to be well endowed, you know what I mean? Don't want short and stumpy, we want long and thin. But, yeah, I think after you've had enough rough nights, you sort of find your own...
Yeah.
Your own way of dealing with
some
things.
way of recovering from it.
Yeah. Which that's what it took me... When I was going out regularly, I would also do a thing where, like, you go after Edge, and you would always end up in, like, this terrible fucking... Chicken shop. Yeah, that's like 2-3 buildings down. And I would always get 2 chicken burgers for when I got home. And then I would order a whole pizza, which I wouldn't eat until the next morning. I'd literally just take it home and let it just sit in my room.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then when I wake up, I'm like...
Perfect hangover
shit,
yeah.
So I eat this fucking stone cold pizza the next morning.
Yeah, I used to, when I was younger, I used to be able to bounce back so quickly as well. Like, I remember working, I was only just started working, I was about 18. I'd go out on Saturday, I'd be working Sunday morning at 8 o'clock.
Mm.
I'd walk from the casino, go home, change, and go straight to work, not even going to sleep. And I'd be totally fine for the whole shift. 8-hour shift. Come home, and then I'd die for the whole next day. I'd have Mondays off. But now, if I drink at 6 p.m, yeah, and I'm in at 6 a.m. the next morning, if I have more than 2 beers, I'm written off. The whole day is written off the next day.
I'm not even... Yesterday... What day was today? Friday. It was a Thursday. I worked, and then I went and got my hair cut and that, and then I went to this girl I'm seeing, had dinner, hurt my stomach some more for ridiculous sex. Went, and it was like 12:30, because when you're at it, time flies.
Yeah.
So it was like 12:30. So I'm like, fuck, my flight's at something like 6, so I got there 2 hours. I got home, did some bits, and I was like, right, I got 2 hours because I knew I wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
And then I've just been dying all day, like every day. Or like when there's like a moment, I quickly catch like a second sleep just to keep me going. I wasn't even drinking.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the sign we're getting older, Dan. That is the sign we are getting fucking old. Do you know what I mean? Because we were both doing the same thing. Today when we were driving to Costco, I was falling asleep in the car, you were falling asleep in the car, because I come home from work at 2 a.m. last night and picked you up at fucking 8 a.m. this morning. So
man, I was panicking like fuck when you weren't replying to my fucking message. I just fucking... But yeah, no, it's ridiculous. But I mean, I was trying to think about situations when I was younger, and I was a massive puke and crier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, fucking, before I went out on a night out, people used to say to me, like, you're going to fucking cry tonight.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I grew out of that after about fucking 3 years. But I was saying to you earlier about, I went to this house party, and me and my mate were the first ones there, and she had like a paddling pool full of alcohol.
Yeah.
So we just got a couple deck chairs and we put it there, and I was just cracking beer. I was fucking hammered before anyone even turned up. And then it must have been really early, something like 6 or 7. I fell asleep in the garden.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it had gone. And then my mate's waking me up, and he's like, "Oh, Dan, like you've been asleep. Like we've called your mum." And that was it. I was fucking. It was like boom, fucking tears. I was like, "What are you doing? Why have you called my mum? How did you even get her fucking number?" And he's like, "You've been asleep." And I'm like, "Oh, why the fuck would you just leave me asleep there? Why the fuck have you called my mum?" And I'm fucking running around this fucking house in front of everyone, going, "She's gonna fucking nut me." I got fucking... And then this girl, I never saw... We were fooling about, but she got in the car and come home with me when my mum turned up. And then all I remember is her helping me to my room and like taking my shirt and that off, and I'm like, "Oh, why don't you just stay? Why don't you just stay?" And she's like, "No." And then she left, and the next morning I'm just like, "Oh, fuck me."
Yeah.
Like, how do I recover from that? But people bounce back. No one remembers these things. You get piss taken out of you for a couple of weeks, and then you're alright there.
Yeah, you become the talk of the town for about a week, I would say. And if you're going out as regularly as this guy is, that night out will be the talk of the town for a week, maybe 2. And then someone else is going to do something just as stupid, and you're not even going to have to worry about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many times over the years, that now were so important at the time, but now I have no recollection of. And when people say it back to me, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was really worried about that. Like, I was worried about what I said to so and so," and because I have a tendency to talk absolute bollocks when I've had a drink.
I can't even remember your wedding.
That's what I mean. I was messy, but I was at like a level where I was navigating myself. But I had a lot of individual conversations with people that I probably shouldn't have had. Do you know what I mean? And that was my own wedding. So I think you just got to take it as it comes. If you start to feel as though you can't drink, like you can't handle your drink, and you're getting into fights, or you're getting angry, or like you're what's that thing when you're getting sick all the time? Like I was talking to you about him earlier. My little brother, he kept getting sick every time he drank, and it's because he's trying to keep up with guys 5 or 6 years older than him. Mm-hmm. So that's myself and my other brother. And I was just like, he took it upon himself to like calm himself down, and now he's probably the most level-headed. In fact, I'm the one that's getting fucking carried back to the hotel on holidays. I'm the one that's still getting too pissed up, if you know what I mean. And he's pretty level-headed.
You got to learn your levels.
Yeah.
Like I start drinking, I drink too quick, and then I become like really like friendly, like you're on acid. "Oh, you're alright, guy," putting your arms around everyone. and then I start to get irritable. And then the more I drink, the more I can't be bothered with people. And then I'll disappear.
Yeah.
The amount of times you messaged me and you were like, "Where the fuck are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in bed." and you'll be like, all right, see you at work tomorrow. Because I've just got into my head like I'm done. That's it. I'm in the fucking taxi home. That's it. I'm alright.
Yeah, it happened once when we went out together, and we were on a night out, and we weren't planning to meet up with my brother.
Oh, we went to play pool.
We went to play pool, and they just so happened to go to the same pool hall.
Yeah.
Which was in the same, which isn't there anymore, which is a fucking shame.
Oh, is it gone?
No, it's gone. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But we were playing pool in the same pool hall, and there was only us in there.
Yeah.
It was like a mid-afternoon session, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And me and you got on the beer, and we decided that we would continue our night out with them. So we moved on. We told them they'd come to our bar, the next bar down, which was the bar we used to always go to, Park.
The student union, yeah.
Yeah. And we went in there, and we insulted everyone in the whole gaff. Told everyone we didn't like them.
I today can't remember the words that I used, but I know that he didn't speak to me after
that. Nor me. Well, he has spoke to me, but not very much. And after that, we insulted everyone in there. I pissed on someone's shoes in the toilet, and I was like apologising and stuff. Nearly got myself into a fucking scrap in the middle of a toilet in Park. And if you remember the toilets in Park, they were probably the most ghetto, like aluminium toilets. Do you remember them old school aluminium nightclub toilets?
That someone showed me. Do you remember that old tattoo of like a guy mowing your pubes?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone showed me that tattoo
in that toilet.
Yeah.
It was like, if you can imagine what a grim nightclub toilet is, that was the Park toilets.
And women just used to wander in, like you got your
there was no doors.
Piss. No,
there was no doors in the cubicles.
No.
And this makes it sound so old, but anyway, and we come out after insulting everyone, and we thought we were absolutely hilarious at the time, but we were just being dicks. And then
I still feel pretty. I don't even know the words I used. I just remember coming out and just feeling like warm. You know, like when you've just given a gift to someone. There you go, mate. There's your gift.
I have no recollection of it even being there. All I know is that what my brother's told me about us standing there absolutely ripping into someone. But we come out there anyway, stumbling. How the fuck we got in anywhere else that night was unreal.
Because we were with a group of women, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the arguments started. So we were walking along, we linked up randomly with this group of women. And we were, because obviously we're slightly older than my brother and his friends. And the girls were slightly older than us.
Yeah.
And so they thought they're way too old for them. So then there was like, oh, we're not getting with these old fucking women.
Yeah.
And that's when the argument started.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not...
There was that guy from the army that was there at the
fuck.
time. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The guy that spiked me, that's probably going to come up later on.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Fucking not. I fucking hate that guy.
I'll talk about that in a bit. But, yeah, he spiked me. But yeah, we were walking along through Luton Town Centre. And did we get to the bar? I don't know whether we got to the bar.
We went in, was it Liquid? I remember because there was a guy that was in a band that I used to go see, he was in there. And then you were like, oh no, we need to go meet back up with your brother. Because they went to, it was the sports bar down the end where the cinema was. I can't remember what it was called.
Don't know.
It's not is it White House?
The White House is in the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's the one then, yeah.
That's where they were, was it?
Yeah, we went in there and they were all sitting around.
Well, that's it. Because we went into Liquid, there was no one in there. There was only like 4 or 5 people in there, so we come back out and we walked back down the hill and went into the White House. And then the argument started outside the White House.
Yeah, because the army fella was like, because at first he was alright because he was saying about how he wanted to be the army.
Yeah.
And I just assumed, I was like, oh, that's fucking sweet, man. Yeah, you know, good on you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I don't want to be in the fucking useless English army. I want to be in the US Marines. And I'm like, but you're fucking English, mate. oh, but they're fucking shit. They're fucking shit. And I didn't realise that when I get drunk, I'm quite patriotic. So all I remember is like fucking laying into him and having him in a headlock. And for some reason, someone's like, "Oh, Dan will stop fucking wailing on this guy if you take his fucking glasses off him." But I'm fucking pissed. I see better when I'm drunk without my glasses on. So I'm just like fucking go for it. And I ripped his fucking shirt off his back, completely tore it off him. And then you guys were like, "Oh," and then you put me in a taxi and sent me home.
Yeah.
And I remember he must have literally got like just up the road, and I'm going to myself, why the fuck am I going home? I didn't fucking do nothing. This ain't my fuck. Pull the fucking taxi over and I get out. And I'm like texting Jamie going, fuck, 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 fuck. And you're like, why are you swearing at me? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. But I didn't know where you'd gone. So I went back to, I think it was Liquid. I went back to Liquid.
We went back into Liquid. He come in with, his shirt was ripped wide open, and they still let him in the nightclub anyway.
Fuck yeah. But I couldn't find you. I remember wandering on my own.
Yeah.
I couldn't find you, so I ended up in a fucking chicken shop that was like dirt cheap, getting something like 4 chicken burgers and like 2 fries, and then getting a taxi home, which I should have stayed in when you put me in it. But I was so fucking wound up that I was like fucking... And then you went to a gay bar and you had to give him your shirt, didn't you? You said.
What happened later that night was we went to the gay bar. I was wearing a bomber jacket. I gave him my bomber jacket so he could zip it up, and then I was just wearing a t-shirt to go into the gay bar.
Oh, okay.
But then I got unneeded attention because I was wearing a tighter fit shirt than I should have been wearing. So then I was like fucking hating life the whole night, and he was just like having a good old like bop with my fucking bomber jacket on. And to this day, I've never seen that bomber jacket again.
What a fucking prick! I don't know. That something set me off that night. I just went for him.
But that same guy, like, we'll move on pretty quickly from it because obviously it's a negative story rather than a positive story. But that same guy spiked me and my brother on another night out. We ended up like fucking smashing glasses and stuff in the gay bar. And then when we come out of the gay bar, we got into a ruck with some random guy. And then we ended up getting put in the fucking police cell for the night, just purely down to that guy giving us drugs that we didn't even know we had in our drink. And he admitted to it the next day. But obviously by then, we couldn't do nothing about it because we'd already come out and nearly ruined relationship with Charlotte right at the beginning.
Oh, actually, I think I was at work that day and she was on the phone to you saying that, like, if you get in trouble with the police again, that was it.
Yeah.
You were done. I always remember we were watching... So, there's a show in the UK called 24 Hour Police Custody, which is all about our hometown, Luton. And I always remember, like, when it first came out, I sit with you, because obviously when we worked in the shop, we got a lot of fucking people that were on the show.
Yeah.
And you were like, I've been in that cell, and I've been in that cell, and I've been in that cell. And you were like, Dan, if there's one rule when you get arrested is that when they put you in the cell, you just take all your fucking clothes off. Because they won't touch you when you're butt-ass naked. And then you can just fucking sleep until the morning. And I'm just like, alright, Jamie, that's alright. I'm just going to get my fucking dangle out in front of the police. It's alright.
Fucking state of me sometimes. Like, honestly, can't say his name, can we?
No.
Mr. Anonymous. What did we agree we were going to call him? Fred. Was it Fred?
Fred. Deborah. Doesn't matter. US.
Deborah.
American.
Oh, American, isn't he?
American.
So let's call him Chad, yeah? So Chad. Yeah.
American name.
Chad. Right, Chad. Don't worry about it. You're in your mid-20s. Unless you think you've actually got an issue, just take it as it comes. Maybe change your drink up. Like, so beer don't agree with some people, do you know what I mean?
Whiskey's a bad one. That makes me like really angry.
Yeah, whiskey is a bad one for a lot of people. Whiskey for me mellows me out. But if I go on something like gin, I become an emotional wreck.
Now, wine for me, if I'm The last time I drank wine, I was texting you at 1 o'clock in the morning going, I'm so a horrible person, Jamie. And you're like, Dan, you're great. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, fuck you, Jamie. I'm a fucking...
I can't touch wine. The last time I drank wine, yeah, it's terrible. Like, literally, I had rosé.
I don't mind rosé, actually.
What had happened, yeah, I was at a do, and I done my usual thing where I turn up with my own drink, yeah, which is fucking normal. You turn up with your own drink. I brought vodka, Coke, 2 bottles of Diet Coke and a bottle of vodka, yeah. And then they were like, "Oh, there's no like soft drinks for the kids. Can they have some of your Diet Coke?" And I was thinking, yeah, they can have some. Thinking I'll only probably use a bottle, but I brought 2 just in case, whatever. And lo and behold, I had 3 drinks. All my Diet Coke's gone.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, there's about 100 kids at this fucking do, and I didn't know about it. And I was like, "Where is all my drink gone?" And I was looking everywhere, and I was debating at that point to have vodka and Ribena.
No, what's snake bite? Is that
Snake bite is
that's
cider, beer, and something else.
Because it's purple, isn't it?
Yeah, cider, beer, and blackcurrant. And I was debating it, and I was like, why didn't they have the blackcurrant instead of fucking Coke? But anyway, I ended up on wine because that was the only thing that was in the house that didn't need a mixer. So I was drinking the rosé. This is at Charlotte's grandparents down in Devon. Before they passed away years ago. And I was getting absolutely mullered on this fucking rosé. And I just kept going and going and going, drinking it. And then I ended up sitting in her granddad's chair, which no one else sat in other than the granddad.
Fucking hell. One of those chairs.
One of those chairs, yeah. And I was sitting in it. And everyone was like, "You alright?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I just woke up next morning and
fucking hell, the blackout.
it was pure blackout. And Charlotte was like, "Oh, you was okay, but you kept calling everyone a cunt." And I was like, "For God's sake."
Love that word.
Like, there's a rule when I go to Malaga and stuff like that with the guys from the family. When the C word comes out from someone, that's their rule, they have to go home. So as soon as someone starts calling someone a cunt, like in a serious tone, we're like, "You need to go home." That's
the code for Englishman's had too much.
Yeah, basically.
You can't.
Yeah, when they start going like when we was in Southend. I hope you don't mind me telling this story. When we was in Southend, my uncle, we'd been drinking since about 9 a.m. in Southend. Yeah. We've been doing beer after beer, and like by the time you're halfway through a beer, someone's already bought the next beer, so you're just continuously drinking beer.
Yeah.
And I think my uncle made it to about 7 p.m. and then we were in like this Grebo bar, yeah, like this hipster bar, and we were playing pool on the pool table, and there was about 10 of us around the pool table, and this little like very like sheepish guy comes over and puts 50p on the table, yeah, as you do, and he was like, "Can I have the next game?" And then my uncle was like, "Yeah, that's fine," nodded to him, yeah. And as he's walking off, he goes, "You can fuck off, you cunt, with your ugly girlfriend." And him and his girlfriend are just standing there looking at us, and I was like, don't worry about him, you can play the next game, like, we're pretty calm about it. But my uncle was just like, "No, he's a fucking cunt, he can fuck off," and all this stuff. I was like, right, he's going home.
Jesus Christ.
Pack the bags, he's going home.
I don't know what it is about alcohol when you just feel like you can just
say whatever you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want. When we had a guy in the group that we just fucking tormented. He was like, he just had no personality until he was like round someone.
Yeah.
And he would like mimic it. So he was just a fucking, like, there was stupid things. Like there was one time where we were putting cigarettes out on each other's hands and he had to go too far and lifted his top. So he's got like 3 nipples now because we burnt a cigarette into one of his nipples. He's a fucking idiot. So it was his birthday party in his house. And every year we try and do something absolutely fucking horrible to him on his birthday. So we got a funnel and a hose. And we got a beer. he was entertaining all his guests. I'll say that loosely, guests. And we were up in his fucking tiny little bathroom in this fucking awful house. And we got my mate in the bathtub, and we like lube up the end of the hose, and we stick it up his arse, and then we pour the beer down so it goes up into his arse, and then we poured it back into the bottle.
What, like a beer enema?
Yeah, exactly
fuck?
like a beer. Yeah. And then we put the cap back on the bottle.
Oh
and then,
my God.
And then we went down the stairs, and he's like being a tit in front of all the fucking people in the front room. And we were like, whoa, birthday boy, here's a beer. And we pretend to pop it in front of him like it's a fresh beer. And everyone doesn't know what's going on. So they're like, woo, chug it, fucking chug it. And he's just in front of everyone. He goes, oh, starts chugging this beer. And we just fucking piss ourselves. It's fucking full of shit in it. It's been out someone's arse.
Oh, mate, that's horrific.
And then we're like fucking pissing ourselves. And he realises about fucking halfway down. And then he fucking starts swishing it around in the air and like covering everyone with his fucking beer.
Oh.
And then end up in like this like mosh pit in the front of his front room. And I end up on the floor, and they tried to hog tie me. So I'm grabbing onto this guy's legs, and he ends up fucking kneeing me in the face and smashes my glasses. I had like a big black eye. That was a fucked up day. I also ate a fucking cocktail sausage that someone had peed on for like a $5.
What the fuck? You just look up to some weird shit, man. What the fuck? Was that before I met you?
Yeah, I was still in college at that point.
Oh,
I remember
God.
walking down to the off license with this guy, what was his name? John. And he bought a fucking massive bottle of martini.
Martini. Oh
Yeah.
God,
And we took the fucking trek back up the road, 20-minute walk back up the road. And then he literally opened the front door and just went, whoop. And smashed it all over the floor. And we were just like, whoop, there you go, get back. Back in the party we go. That was the same night as well that I caught my mate getting off with my ex.
Oh my God.
And when I'm drunk, I'm just a fucking wreck. So I went upstairs and I opened the door and they're like in there. And I was like, what the fuck? So I just started fucking punching holes into fucking his walls. And they like dragged me out. And the next day, apparently I told him he was alright to do it or something, but I don't remember it. We're still great mates. He's one of my fucking best friends, but she's a fucking hoe bag, you know what I mean? Whatever. But yeah, no, I just went fucking ballistic. Just started punching everything and fucking...
Do you remember that time I was supposed to come to a party over in Stopsy somewhere, and I literally was like at Tesco's buying my beer to come to this party, and I got a phone call from you. I was already like an hour late because I'm always fucking late. I got a phone call from you saying, I've just been kicked out of the party, you may as well not come, fuck everyone there.
Oh shit, yeah, that was that same guy that we gave the fucking beer enema to.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So I was at the birthday party. That was actually like the year before I moved to Scotland. I got invited to the party, and I don't know what was going on with me at that point. I was having a downer, but he was trying to show off to some women in the garden, like he fucking did. And I just had enough. I've been there an hour, and I was like, I'm sick of this now. And I was like, "Why are you such a fucking cunt?" And he was like, "What do you mean by that?" Like I threw it off there from off centre or something like that. And I was like, "You're such a fucking child." I was like, "When are you gonna fucking grow up? Look at your fucking ears and your fucking tunnels in there." I was like, "You're such a little fucking prick." And and no one knew where to look. And I went.
And there goes Jamie walking to Tesco's, like fucking buying his beer, thinking he's going to a good night out.
Yeah, it's me being a fucking thing.
And Dan started a row.
So I went up for a piss and I come back down, and my actual mate, went up to me and he goes, "What did you say to him?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Well, he come in and he goes, I know Dan's bigger than me, but if he speaks to me that again, I'm going to try and fucking hit him."
No
and
way.
and I was like, "I'm going home then." I walked out the door and just fucking, that was me. I was gone home.
I just remember, like, the most erratic phone call ever. And I was like, yeah, I'm on my way now. Because that's why I thought you were calling me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm coming now. And he was like, don't fucking bother. Don't fucking bother. I've left them. Fuck all of them.
That was the days where I used to drink like a bottle of single malt on my own.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what I'd taken a bottle of like Drura or something with me. And I was just fucking... And actually, when I literally just walked through the door, I hadn't even had any drink yet. Because I was really angry because obviously I didn't like my life at that point.
Mm.
And I walked in the door and I saw the guy that was talking to me. And this girl come up, and I just went to her like, what? And she was like, what do you mean by what? And I was like, I don't know who the fuck you are. What are you saying there for? And he's like, oh no, she's alright. And I was like, what do you mean she's alright? I was like, what are you doing? Just fucking giving this woman abuse for no reason.
You was ready to start by the time you
I
walked
think
in
I
the door.
decided that was
He was
my
in one of
idea,
them days, yeah.
But I regret, obviously it's horrible, and that's exactly what this guy's asking, like...
You don't want to be that guy,
no.
innit?
And
Yeah.
I was an awful fucking...
I think if you're not in the right mindset and you get too much to drink, and you have too much to drink, it can fuck your life up. Like, I've been in situations where I've gone out in a bad mood, and I've done some shit that really pissed like my friends off.
Mm.
Like, I've done stuff like, my brother bought me, we were in Stevenage, he bought me a full Long Island iced tea, cost him 13 quid in this bar, yeah. And as soon as he gave me it, I smashed it on the floor. And that was just because I was being a pure dickhead that night, because I was in a bad mood, because the whole lead up to that night out was like such a build up of like all these people arguing and all that stuff. When it actually happened, Jamie went on the turn. As soon as I had a drink on me, that was it. I went into psycho mode, and like, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it fucking goes off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You just gotta live and learn from moments like that. Like, I'm not like that at all anymore, and I don't want to.
I think with age, both of us mellowed out quite a lot.
Yeah. I think you get the friends that you get that have probably stuck through you all that fucking crap. And because there was a night actually, because I used to call you my bulldog.
Yeah, because I used to be a fucker when I used to fight and stuff.
Yeah.
all the time.
And if I knew if I'd spoken stupid at someone, that you would just jump in front of me. But we were out. It was like this bar where like all the cougars went, and I remember me and you getting in there. Fucking, it was queuing for ages, and we got in there, and then this girl come
Probably
up.
Chicago's, I would say.
Yeah, and this girl come up to me and she was like, "Damn, what are you doing in here?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What the fuck am I doing in here? Like, what kind of question is that?" Oh, blah blah blah. I was looking for you because you were talking to his girlfriend or something. And I'm like, what's that got to fucking do with him? I ain't got my dick in her or something. Like, what the fuck is his problem?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, fuck him. So me and you were doing your monkey fucking dancing, like, and me and you like, and he's getting more wound up because we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And do you remember she ended up driving us home? Because she was like, you've got to get out of here. I'm like, fuck off. I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
As though we were going to get killed in the fucking bar, yeah.
This guy's a fucking puss bag. He's such a fat fuck. Yeah, so we ended up fucking going home, but I couldn't imagine doing that with anyone. Obviously, I've got my other mates and that. But yeah, you have your mates that you do certain things with, and you've had those memories. And
I think with me and you, because we like always had each other's back. Like when something, if I was deliberately playing up, I knew you would have my back on it, even though you knew I was being a dickhead. Yeah, but sometimes I was just doing it for the row, and then like you would always be like right behind me, and I would always do the same thing for you. But there's certain friends you go out with. I've been caught out a few times where I've accidentally got into an argument on a night out. And I turn around, there's no one there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm absolutely fucked now. There's like 4 blokes here. I'm going to get battered. And I do my usual thing where I mouth off like fuck and then disappear. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's like, when you've had too much to drink, you can say a lot of stupid stuff. Like, I've got into the routine now that I've been married, that instead of doing all this silliness that I used to do, where I used to get into arguments and like be competitive with other guys, now what I do is I decide to talk absolute shit to people for a laugh and a giggle. So now I'm telling people that I've been a bouncer in London for 3 years, and I'm naming nightclubs that have never existed, and I'm telling all kinds of bullshit just for the laugh and the conversation. Do you know what I mean? I've told a group of girls to try and get my mate in there. I've told a group of girls that I am a monkey trainer in London Zoo, and I was showing them pictures of me petting monkeys. Yeah, pictures just me petting monkeys at a fucking random zoo abroad. But I would like I keep just trying to bring it back to the advice, but I think in your early 20s, just go with it. Like, you're gonna learn from your mistakes.
The mates that are gonna be there after you've done something stupid are the mates that are gonna be there.
Yeah, they're the real ones at the end of the day.
Yeah. All the stupid shit I did. I mean, I don't even go out anymore. I said, I think in a previous episode, that I'm a recurring alcoholic because when I'm up with you, it's the only time I drink.
Yeah.
I tried to, when I went to Canada to see my other best mate, to go to his wedding, and I don't even think we were drunk on his wedding day. We had a few on the... It's just you. You're the problem, Jamie.
I'm the problem now.
You're the problem, yeah. Now that we do podcasts, and I drink every fucking week when we do them as well.
Well, it makes it a bit more exciting, doesn't it? Another random midweek drink.
Yeah, but now I've got to prep for it, haven't I still got a couple Coronas in my fridge, actually, but I don't know. I get in the mood sometimes. I don't really want beer.
Yeah.
But nah, just enjoy yourself, man. Like, people do stupid stuff, and at the end of the day, you've got stories that you can tell other people. And even if they are embarrassing, you know what I mean? You can't take them back. No. Unless you're obviously fucking actually going out and beating the fuck out of people. I don't recommend that.
No. If you're actually going out and looking for trouble, then I don't recommend that. And if you're going out and you're getting sick every time you go out, you need to change your drink.
Yeah, mixing was a bad thing for me. If I mixed my drinks, that was what was kicking me in. One day, I was saying about snakebite, I don't remember, getting home, and then the next morning I woke up and I was looking on the floor and I was like, I know I threw up somewhere, but the floor was clean. Because I used to just lean over the side of the bed, throw up, and go to sleep.
God, that's fucking horrific.
And I couldn't find it. And then I was cleaning up and I picked up my trainers and I was like, oh, this one's really heavy. And it was... and I'd literally leant over the side of the bed and shot straight into a trainer.
Oh my God.
But I was drinking snakebite.
Yes, it's bright purple.
Yeah, they were white trainers. So I had to throw them away. There's nothing I could do. It like died inside of my trainers.
That's disgraceful.
It was disgraceful, but it was pretty funny. And fucking accurate as fuck as well. Not even remember doing it. Straight into a shoe.
I remember we went out on a night out once, and me and you, first time I ever met this geezer in my whole life, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you were staying down where you stayed, down by like Borough Park, that area, when you stayed in that flat.
Oh, yeah, not Tin Town. Yeah, but it's Berry Park, isn't
it?
Yeah.
And we went on a night out with this geezer, and like we didn't do nothing too outrageous. We just did our usual crazy bullshit. But like we met up with him at your flat. We drank rum and probably the cheapest 27p Coke ever because we were skint, and we drank loads before we went out and we were absolutely smashed. And then I remember lending him a shirt or something, or you lending him a shirt, and we went out. And he disappeared on us like at the end of the night, and then never spoke to me again.
Yeah. I was really close to him in school. I think they still have him on my Instagram. Yeah, I don't know. We were really close, and then he came out for that night out, and he sort of drank, but he never really went for it.
Yeah. And I was like, have we outdone someone here? Have we?
I don't know. Because he showed me like pictures and stuff of him going out. Because what happened was, after high school, we both went for art, but I went in the class higher than him. Not for any reason. I don't know why. How even happened. Yeah, so he was in the one below. So he had different people that he talked to.
Right.
And then I eventually got kicked out of college, and he was still there. So, and then we met back up. But he was always sort of, I don't know. He was a really nice guy, but it was just
Very
something.
nice guy,
yeah.
yeah.
There was just something. I don't know whether he really knew who he was, to be honest.
At that point.
Yeah, if I have to say, if I'm being honest. But yeah, no, he was one of my best mates back in the day. Got a lot of shit for being friends with him because it was like I only hang out with him and someone else, and there was when you were fucking in high school, back when we were in high school, it was all about being gay and that, wasn't it? Fucking all that sort of shit. But some of the best times when I was in high school was with him, and it's a shame that you lose.
You do lose contact with people. Like, I lost contact with nearly pretty much all of the people that I went to high school with. And, like, I've messaged them a couple of times over the years, but it's one of those things where you say, oh yeah, we'll go for a drink together and all that. But you know, it's never going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you think of them at that time, you message them, which could work out at some point. That's the good thing about having social media nowadays. You can still reach out. Where back when our parents were fucking growing up, there was no social media. So when they lost contact, they lost contact. That was the end of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I see him sometimes. He likes scupping on my posts, but he never posts anything. Even his profile picture's like blank.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's going on. But yeah, no, that was a strange night. Yeah, it was I still had that shirt. It must be his shirt that he lent or left or something at mine, because I still had it when I moved.
I remember there was something about a shirt. That's all I could remember, because I got absolutely annihilated.
Yeah. So
and all I thought was, I've shown Dan up that night.
No, you and me both, man. You and me both. Fucking hell. But yeah, so enjoy yourself, man. Like, you got any more advice than that? I think.
Nah, I think that's it from me.
Yeah. I think we've embarrassed ourselves enough for you to feel better about yourself.
Yeah, we've told enough terrible stories.
We're probably not losing listeners after the fucking horrible things we talk about. But that's life. But like always, man, we appreciate everyone that takes the time to message in. And this one was a bit silly because obviously it's about being drunk and stuff like that. But we do take the questions you ask seriously. And on that subject, we actually got a response back from a previous No Hoper, the very first one. And she actually took our advice, and has now been on a few dates with the gentleman, and we're over the moon. It actually worked out. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously we give our advice, and it's purely just
two like idiots trying to give you advice, basically.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're taking it serious, but
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was great to hear that she's actually done it, and hopefully it lasts longer than my relationships. You're alright, you're married. But if you're listening, which we hope you are, you know, keep it up. And if anything happens or any more questions, you know, get in touch.
And if you do get married to him,
I want an invite.
I want an invite, yes.
Yeah, make sure it's an open bar for us. Even after you've heard the horrible things we do when we're drunk.
Guest of honour.
Hey man, I'll do a fucking speech. I don't mind that.
Could you imagine?
No.
I wonder whether she's actually said to him, I went to a podcast for us some advice about it.
I think it's a bit early to be like, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe she will one day, and he'll send us a message and say thanks.
Yeah.
But anyone else out there, you know, if you got any questions or just want to ask us something, anything, just drop us an email at twomennohope@gmail.com. 2 spelled TWO, not the number. And I always reply back as quick as I can. And you get your own episode. At the minute, you get your own episode. Hopefully, we'll get so many that it'll be multiple. But at the minute, dedication.
Yeah, essentially, I dedicate the episode to you.
Yeah. So message in. It always makes our day. And then next time I'll be back home.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
My neck burnt. I'm pretty sure I burnt my neck. But I'm dying for a pee as well. Last time I was dying to go for a fucking jobby. I now need a pee.
Right.
See you guys later.
Bye bye.